Okay everybody, well here I am in my new hometown, Yonkers, New York. Just moved about a week ago and I'm checking out the local fishing scene. This is called Tibbetts Brook State Park, or maybe it's a county park. There are two bodies of water. There's this kind of somewhat small pond behind me, and I think further down that way there's a lake. Tons of geese in my way right now. Look at that, they've got a water slide. That's pretty cool. So I'm excited to investigate this place. My friend Bassman has a video from this park, and I think he was at the lake in the late summer, and it was choked with weeds. So much so, in fact, that there's a pigeon walking on top of the water or on the weed beds in his video. So maybe it's not so bad since it's only the beginning of March, but we're gonna check this out. I've got a Ned rig, a spinnerbait, going pretty minimal today. I don't have the whole arsenal with me, but it'll be fun to explore, so come along. This is just ridiculous. Got some squirrels, pigeons, seagulls, see a swan out there, mallards. Okay, let's not freak out. Oh, then there's like almost like a domestic duck over here. Oh boy, well, it's one thing I know. I'd like to stay away from them, but they'll probably move to any place I go, especially if they're used to being fed by irresponsible park goers. Let's just investigate a little bit. It looks like there's a little stream, maybe even a waterfall. Maybe that would be a fun place to start, but I'm allowed to. All right, so I'm interested in fishing this little waterfall area, and this is the only sign I see. It just says keep off the rocks and out of the water, so it doesn't say not to fish. All right, I might come back here later, but I don't think there's much in there. I'm gonna go to the lake. There are some really fantastic looking spots here, including this area where the creek comes in, so it's bringing all the food and the nutrients in, and there's also all this structure. And I mean, it looks pretty shallow on the sides, but in the middle, I think there's like a deep channel. However, getting there is another issue altogether. I'm gonna keep pushing on for now, but it's good to know this is here. This beginning side of the lake looks pretty shallow, so I'm not sure if anybody's gonna be hiding out here now, but it certainly gives me a good idea when the weather gets warmer and there are no weeds. It gives me a good idea of where some of the fish will be. Yeah, see, like there's structure there, but I think that's like seriously a foot of water. I think I can see the bottom. Okay, this spot seems to be a little deeper. It's like off of a point, kind of. Well, it's not deep on the shore, but oh gosh, but there's like nowhere to cast. Beautiful trash. All right, so I'm thinking that the far side here might be the deepest, or where the fish are all being pushed, also because the wind is going that way today. So that's where I'm gonna go probably after this cast. When you're at a new spot, I feel like, especially if you're at a new spot and not catching anything, you gotta just keep moving. Don't stay in one spot. It's like ice fishing. If you're not catching anything at one hole, just go start another one. Like, you're a fish, it's overcast, it's windy, it's cold air, cold water. Where are you? Are you deep? You're probably deep. It's lonely fishing from the bank here in Yonkers. There's a couple people walking by, but nobody's asking me what I'm doing, if I'm catching anything. The typical banter you have in Harlem and my other NYC locales. Guess you don't know what you got till it's gone. And I can't even say it's more peaceful up here because we have, I don't know if that, I guess that's maybe the Sawmill Parkway. It's a parkway of some kind right behind me. That's all the rage up here is the parkways. Highways, all those other names, throw them out. Because there's about 13 different parkways. You got your Sawmill Parkway, Brook, Mochaloo, whatever. So sure, there's a bridge over there, but we live on the edge here at the Big Red Angler. Made it. Like, look how good that tree in the water looks. But again, I think we're super shallow here. Baseball. Hey, baseball. Okay, back to the spinner bait. Bite. Spinner bite. Alright, this will be what we do. We'll put the blade bait on the braided line. We'll put the jerk bait on the fluoro line. Well, I'm running out of time. My bobber's out there. I don't know what's going on. It's really hard to tell with all these ripples from the wind if I'm getting bites or what. It almost looks like it's moving, but it's not going below the surface, so I don't think there's anything on there. Oh, this thing. Come on. I was making my way back towards the other end of the lake and the smaller pond and really the parking lot. But I just saw something bust on the surface over here. I don't know what it could have been. I still see something like an insect. Or maybe that's a fin. Anyway, let's see what's down there. I was just starting to think this looked like a deeper part of the lake, and I saw something hit something on the surface. Yeah, this is my opinion, or my impression after trying this lake today, is that it is extremely shallow, and it's only going to get worse when the weeds come and blanket the entire thing. So you're going to be very limited in the kind of things you can throw in here. And these blade baits, out of any other lure, get caught up in the line so frequently. Guys, I just had my first bite, and I didn't react too loudly because there were people walking by behind me. I just had a bite on this freaking bobber, and if I had seen it early enough, not been screwing with that freaking blade bait, I would have caught the fish. Damn it. Pond where I began. See the water slide in the distance. Am I being super stubborn? Yes, very much so. Okay folks, I think this is going to conclude day one of exploring Tibbetts Brook Park. No luck. We had one bona fide bite, probably a panfish, because it was on my panfish setup. I saw the float go down. It was down for quite some time. I just couldn't land it. I couldn't get the rod in time. So I think I might come back tomorrow. We'll have a day two, or maybe some other time this week. But it was still fun, and I'm learning this lake, so it's only a matter of time before I know how to catch them here. So here's to that. All right, we'll see you on the flip side. Next morning, you're looking at my backyard, and one cool thing about having a backyard maybe not when it's this cold and snowy, is that you don't have to necessarily go out and buy your live bait anymore. You might be able to find some worms or some bugs or some, I don't know, toads, whatever. So, I got my old Dunkin' Donuts cup. In case I find anything, I'm going to tackle this log pile. Flip over some logs. Feel like we'll find a worm or two. Let's go with this guy first. Anything. Oh, there's all kinds of little centipedes and stuff. I'll take a few. These are just tiny guys, though. See those little things? Yeah, not much. Those are actually millipedes. Do you know the difference between millipedes and centipedes? I do. Millipedes have 2 sets of legs per body segment, and centipedes only have 1 set of legs per body segment. Ooh, look at this thing. See that guy? Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch that. Okay, I turned the camera off because the hunt for worms was getting really frustrating, and I was only finding those little like millipede things and centipedes. But I finally did find a worm. It's kind of injured. I don't think I injured it, but it's a worm nonetheless. It's kind of the perfect size. We could even split this into pieces for the little jig head that we're going to be pan fishing with. And I did end up getting one of the really scary ones. I don't even know if I want to touch it. Do you see him in there? You see that guy? Yeah. He's creepy. So I don't know. If there's a way to get him on a hook, I will. So maybe we have a little challenge video for the second half of Tibbetts Brook Park. Worms versus centipedes versus millipedes. Alright, well, we'll see you there. Okay, so this is, I think, the spot where I got bit yesterday. I'll have to check the tape to make sure, but I'm pretty sure this is where I got bit yesterday. Probably a bluegill, took my float under, couldn't react in time, didn't get a hook set, and by the time I even was in a position to, the float had already come back up. He had already let it go, spit it out, what have you. So, we have a thermos full of Eagles, an Eagles thermos full of coffee. We have, oh, well, this is my worm, but look, one of the little millipedes hitched a ride. I'm keeping them in this old Dunkin' Donuts container. So I'm not going to use this whole worm. This is the only worm I found, so I'm just going to break him into little pieces. That's going to be my first one. I'm going to put it on the jig. And the cool thing is, since I'm just pretty much planning to pan fish today, I can just sit and hang out until I get a fish and drink my coffee. Just drinking my coffee, dude. So we can just chill. Thumbnail. Alright, since this may take a while, I'm turning the camera off. I only have about a battery and a half of camera today. So hopefully the next time you hear my voice, something good's happening. So I can't stick to pan fishing when I see an opportunity. So I've got the jig on. Oh, I just saw something surface too. Are those just bubbles? Oh, it's probably bubbles from me stepping on this tree. I'm stepping on this stick, that's why that thing keeps coming up. Actually, if I tightened the line on my pan fishing setup a little bit, I could use this as like a foot pump to twitch it, to jig my worm while I'm fishing, while I'm jigging my bass jig. Oh, beautiful cast. It's a pretty impressive snail shell. I think that's what it is that I just found here on the shore. Wish there was more to tell you about this day, which is turning out to be another grind. You know, I never call people out face to face, but this family, this father and I guess his children, are throwing bread to all these annoying ducks and geese. There are posted signs all over the place that say, "Do not feed the wildlife." Like, they have to know they're not supposed to be doing that. It's just f***ing obnoxious. You wonder why these places are so overrun with waterfowl. Anyway, this is turning into a total show of a day. Watch, all the geese probably think I'm feeding them. Well, folks, I'm about to put the camera away, and another 5-10 minutes, call it a day here. Call it a second day here at Tibbetts Brook Park. I have to say, I mean, I know it's not great weather, it's not the best season, but I mean, heck, I was pretty much just going for panfish today, which shouldn't be too hard to, procure a bluegill or two. So I'm not impressed by this place, to be honest. I can't find any places that look deeper than maybe 4 feet that I can reach with my line. I don't know where the fish are, or if there's fish at all. So, a little disappointed. I think I'm gonna wait for it to warm up quite a bit more before I try this place again. There are some good places within this county that you've seen me at before in Westchester County, so maybe I can explore those a little more, and maybe there's some more places in Yonkers. I'll have to look it up, but anyway, I'm calling it. So I know this was not enjoyable, but we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Cool. Bye.